The first time I noticed it, I thought it was just a trick of the light. The rolling hills behind our new country home seemed to undulate slightly, like gentle waves on a calm sea. I blinked, and the movement stopped. Karen and I had moved here to escape the noise and stress of the city. The isolation was supposed to be peaceful, but as days passed, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The hills had an odd symmetry to them, 6 rounded peaks in a perfect arc. From our back porch, they seemed almost like a massive jawline emerging from the earth. I mentioned this to Karen once. She laughed it off, saying my imagination was running wild without city distractions. But then the whispers started. At first, I thought it was just the wind. A faint murmur carried on the breeze, almost like words just beyond comprehension. I'd strained to listen, but could never quite make anything out. Karen didn't hear them. "It's just the trees," she'd say with a concerned look. I knew she was worried about me, about the toll the isolation might be taking, so I stopped mentioning it. Weeks passed, and I found myself avoiding the windows facing the hills. Something about their presence felt oppressive, like they were watching us, waiting. One night, I woke to find Karen's side of the bed empty. Groggy and confused, I stumbled downstairs. The back door stood open, a cool breeze carrying that same whispered murmur. Heart pounding, I stepped onto the porch. Karen stood at the edge of our property, facing the hills. Even in the dim moonlight, I could see they were moving, rippling, the 6 peaks rising and falling in a steady rhythm. "Karen?" I called out, my voice trembling. She turned, her eyes wide and unfocused. "Can't you hear it?" she whispered. "It's beautiful." I rushed toward her, but before I could reach her, the ground began to shake. A deep rumbling filled the air, drowning out the whispers. Karen smiled serenely as the hills before us parted, revealing a cavernous maw lined with towering stone teeth. As my wife took a step forward, I realized with horror that we hadn't escaped the noise of the city. We'd only traded it for a much older, hungrier silence.